Booyaka.
Where my backup singers at? It's
Right.
Christmas.
I'm gonna have to chase that. Oh my! Whoa!
Whoa!
That's the first. Okay, so welcome everybody to episode number 34.5 of On the Back Ash. My name is Cedric Levin. Joined with me today is Mr. Chris Klein, Mr. Zach Watts, and Mr. William Aloysius James Gray Jr. the Fifth. So.
What a great name, Aloysius, man.
Aloysius, man. Just Copernicus.
I know somebody whose middle name is Aloysius.
Do you?
I
said, do you?
I do.
Cool. I don't.
None of us do.
All right. I get that
story.
I'll just leave now.
At this point, it's a running gag that you leave every episode for some reason.
I mean, he really does.
It's true. Sometimes you have to walk away.
Yeah. So this episode is a continuation. That's why it's a 0.5 of our percussion preview week. So if you watched the episode from the other day, we got to talking about, we had to review Color Guard, and it took a little bit of time, and we got through the scholastic groups, and by that time we were already sitting at about an hour, and we didn't want to spend another hour talking about independence and wins. So we decided to go ahead and break it up into a couple of different episodes. So you get a bonus episode this week.
Woo! Yeah,
for us. So we are not going to dilly-dally too long. We're going to get right into it. So if you're watching this on the YouTube here in just a second, you're going to see our wonderful Drumwork page pop up. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to go ahead and start with concert, just because it's a smaller class and it won't take as long. And then we'll go to wind, and then we'll hit independent percussion.
Down for that.
How about that? So in your concert class, this is kind of the standings that has been sitting for a while. In concert A, I think it's, I don't know. I don't want to be biased towards my own group, but I think the top 4 or 5 are going to be pretty tough. The scores of the only groups that have seen each other head to head are West Claremont and Kent McKinney. Those groups saw each other head to head at a regional. East Central and Lewis Cass met at their Indiana State Finals, and that's what that final score is. And then Warren East and Newman saw each other at the Atlanta Regional, with Warren East beating Newman. So Ataka has not gone against any group. So if I was a safe betting man, I would say all the head-to-heads winners would qualify for finals. So that would be West Claremont, that would be East Central, and that would be Warren East. And then your 4, 5, and 6 spots, I think, are going to be pretty tightly contended. You guys got any thoughts on that? I haven't seen anybody else.
I was going to ask you, with that, I know they just do semifinals and finals, right? And
yeah.
So how many did they take in the finals for that?
So take the top 4 for Class A.
4. Okay, cool. All right. And I think it's just like what we were talking about last time. Just it's that spread is not that far out, that far apart. And I mean, these are all circuit championship scores probably too. A lot of them. So that could be inflated with the circuit. So getting in WGI, you can see a lot of things shift and change. So, yeah. So pretty much would say, top 5 probably have a shot.
Yeah. So should be cool. Will, I know you might have caught a couple of groups in that class. You got any thoughts?
It's gonna be tight. I think it might be tight, more tight in A than it will be World.
I agree with that. Just with the caliber of the groups in A, they probably could have bumped 3 or 4 more if they really wanted to in A class.
If they really,
to open.
Yeah.
But it was just enough. So we'll see how that turns out. Of course, I'm rooting for my group because they're my group and go East. So there we go. Concert open. You got Penn who got bumped.
Yeah, two of the top 3 spots got bumped. That's saying something.
So now we hadn't seen Powder in a long time, which makes me wonder if they didn't go to their circuit championship. And I don't know when Cleveland circuit championships were, but it almost looks like it's Pentafix to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Which is crazy to think about that they started out in A.
Yep.
And now.
It's pretty much even through guard and all the other percussion classes, it's like somebody that got bumped is fighting for a medal in like almost every class.
So looks like your top 3 will probably be the battle there, just kind of looking at numbers. But anything can happen. DeSoto Central or Paladin can come out of somewhere and shake some stuff up. And then Concert World, Ayala's.
That Ayala score is very interesting because Fisher's was really running away with it, and now that Ayala just has bumped a score that is close enough to them.
Yeah, but Fisher
makes it more interesting for that class.
Fisher's it won't have been out since the first of the month too, though. So
true,
something to watch.
So I like seeing that.
Yeah, it appears like it's going to be a lot more competitive now, even with Catawba Wind and Corner Folding breaking
I still
the
think
90s.
it's a 2-horse race, though.
So since there's there's only 5 in Open and World, will they just have a finals and that's it, or will they still have a semis?
No, they'll still have prelims to seed them for finals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they'll still get 2 runs. So,
yeah, that would suck to go out there and be like, all right, you got 1 shot for a medal.
So they're
fun.
Yeah.
So they're taking top. Obviously all 5 in World and Open, and then they're only taking 6 in A.
No, they're only taking 4
what you said?
in A. 4
to finals.
4.
They're taking.
No, in A they're taking 4, but in Open and World everybody goes.
Oh, I was gonna say that'd be really silly to be the 2 groups that get cut out of A class and everybody else makes it. But
no, you take the top
3.
4. It's 50% of A class, 75% of Open class.
I see.
And all of World, but you can't eliminate just one group.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why Open takes all of them.
Makes sense.
So yeah, concert class. Don't sleep on it. There's gonna be some good shows. I'm not just saying it because we're in it.
I will say if you have not seen one of your all's reacts that you did, or is it Perk Talk that y'all did at Fisher's? Probably one of the best things I've listened to in a very long time. So, like you said, don't sleep on that stuff. You want to hear some really good music.
I'm looking forward to seeing that live from this year.
Yeah.
So, all right. Moving over to wins. In the independent class, here's how we got things kind of set up. So on independent A, I'm going right to left. In independent A, you got Westerville sitting up top by a nice chunk. So yeah.
That's pretty much like it's set on who's going to medal.
Yeah, that looks like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Independent Open, no. Go ahead.
Haven't seen Paul Miko yet.
This is true. This is
Could
true.
throw
Which
a
is
wrench
weird,
in
'cause I thought
things.
they could.
So it says not seen yet, but do they have to go to a regional to go to championships?
I see. I thought that was the rule,
Because that's,
but
I mean,
because there was there's one drum line that hadn't gone out yet as well.
that's
So
Like, listen, we're gonna be there, but you won't see us prior to.
weird.
It's
We
gonna be a
don't
surprise
practice.
for us too.
Yeah, right. We have no idea. It could be a 2. It could be 98. I'm not sure.
They show up with a clarinet, a saxophone, and a French horn, and a triangle player. But we are here.
like
We are here.
some wins will be played. We don't know. They are on the roster. They are on the schedule.
Wow.
So I mean, I'm sure there's circumstances that allow them to do so, but they are on.
I mean,
the roster.
it could be that, because my last year with Russellville, we had to pull out of a tri-state, but they still counted us.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So
Where
and
are
right down
they out of?
Palmico, Mount Olive, North Carolina. So, while you're kind of looking at that list, I'll tell you the breakdown of how they're going to take groups. Top 9 Scholastic A scores advance to the finals. Top 6 Independent A scores advance to finals. Top 6 Scholastic Open scores advance to finals. Top 6 Independent Open scores advance to finals. Top 4 Scholastic World scores advance to finals. And the top 5 Independent World advance to finals.
So they're only cutting 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not cutting out. They're not cutting a whole lot.
Could you scroll down to the is there a way we can see both the, not all of it, I guess we couldn't see it. There we go. Yeah.
I don't know what people's vision is.
Oh god, not that. Nope. That looks like when I am at the doctor's office and
1 or 2.
yeah, that's not happening.
But we'll scroll down to just Scholastic here a second. Looks like we're gonna have a battle between Strike and UTRGV.
Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley.
So
Wow.
got a nice little battle there. Horizon looks to be solidly in third.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see him elevate. Scrolling down to our Scholastic groups. Here it is. So I think they said, top 9?
Top 9,
Scholastic
yeah.
groups.
Mm-hmm. And that's still a little battle there for that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got Elk River, Bob Jones. Looks like they're going to be battling for gold. I saw Bob Jones. It's good. It's some good stuff. I'm surprised they stayed in A.
Yeah.
Honestly. Kelsey and Bellevue look to be battling for a medal.
So is Bellevue West and Bellevue East like the same area?
Possibly.
That would be cool.
I'll look for you.
Davis County looking at a medal possibly?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Point out?
Yep, they're both out of Nebraska.
Wow,
that's cool. That's cool.
Bellevue, Nebraska.
John Harden ain't been out in a month. You don't know what's going to happen with that.
You can get a lot done in that amount of time.
Yeah.
I believe you're taking top 6 out of Scholastic Open. So we're going to have a little battle there.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, Davis County could possibly medal. Miamisburg's not going to be a pushover, though.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be long before you see Dartmouth over in this category over here.
I was gonna say, it's like, why are they not ready to begin with? Is what I was thinking.
Probably because they haven't been told to be. I'd write it out as long as possible.
Yep. You have to move me.
I would
Avon
love to be like, side note, just like go to Dartmouth or Avon or these schools and just be like, what are y'all drinking? Or what are y'all supplying? I mean, because like any organization you look at, or any circuit, or they're there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if it's winds, guard, or and it's just they're there. Like it's just crazy.
I want to know if their school's sports teams are any count, or if it's just like.
Listen, our football team's on an 89,000 game losing streak, but my
But
God,
we are Grand National champions. We got 75 gold medals. We have more gold medals than our football team has won games ever. It's like, wow.
Good Lord. I'm trying to think from a national standpoint if I recognize any of these schools. I feel like Miamisburg.
I was like, Miamisburg's the one I kind of jump out.
Is pretty athletic, pretty well rounded.
Father Ryan usually has decent football.
Yeah. Except when they come up here to Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But wins, you got some interesting battles and some for finalists and for medalist spot.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like most of the gold battles are a foregone conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And those happen. They start Saturday morning at the Nutter Center, and they run all day up to like 5:30, and then they do their finals Sunday morning. And I can't remember if they get their finals in Beauty Arena
Sunday morning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think they do.
Oh.
I think they do. I just looked. Yeah, their finals start at 9:30 Sunday morning. Awards are at like 4:30. So good stuff in the women's division. Looking forward to watching those groups battle it out. All right, independent. Looking at independent A. Remember, these are unofficial. But this is the scores going into. So you got Modulation Z kind of sitting up top. North Star and PI sit second and third. And then a little bit of depth. So I feel like for the most part, they're trying to keep these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to keep the numbers regulated a little bit during the season. You didn't see a lot of A-class groups really popping, high 80s and low 90s this year. So I think bumping groups, I think there's just like, if you're going to end up scoring a 90, you need to go ahead and just get it. And then, of course, since there's only 15 groups, they take off 15 to finals. So congratulations. You're finalists. You did it. Anybody, any thoughts about any of this? I mean, Modulation Z's pretty much been on top the entire.
They're probably the front runner.
Entire season, but look at all these groups that get bumped open.
Mm-hmm.
All 15 you can go.
Yep.
Infinity 3 is an open class. Can we just? I want to reiterate that again.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that. If you don't know, and you're really into like digging into the numbers, if you scroll down on their page and you look at the stats, you can look at a breakdown of the stats for the groups, and like plus minus from show to show. And then they actually did some interesting stats from last year, like points and things like that. So, they've really...
You can't go on right now because it's finals week and they took them down.
Yeah.
But they'll be back.
But they had some caption by caption breakdowns and things of that nature. And, I like that you can see the average growth for each group in that class um, 8.73 points, which almost goes along with point and a half per week from your first part of the season. Um, so, but so yeah, moving on over back to Independent Open. Now this is going to be a fun class.
I was like, this is the one to look at right here.
Mm-hmm.
Fun class. You got Civitas sitting up top. America second. Somebody, so I don't know if somebody can double check this real quick. I think somebody said that America had a penalty. I don't know. United Percussion 2, sitting up there too. Impact, Bakersfield, and Spartans all in a 90 club. So any of these groups has a shot. Who's going to be the cleanest, has the best friend. You got Vision out of Arizona, Freedom out of St. Louis, Matrix Open, Cap City, Gold Spike. Mount Juliet is.
Dang, I didn't realize they were Independent Open.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they got bumped.
Dang, go them.
They were one of the 30 groups that got bumped. But yeah, so lots of groups. Q2, Palmetto, which we saw. There's Infinity 3 down there, the 28th spot. So I think they take the top 24 in the semis. So I think I got Miracon winning it all.
I was going to say that. I said top two are probably going to switch.
They drum so well. They drum well. They move well. I like their design setup pretty well. Like Civitas is nothing to sleep at, and I mean United Percussion is right there too. So that is my my choice for Independent Open class. If I was to guess,
I will concur.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we could all be completely wrong. And then Matrix had a really cool show. If everything works,
Man, God, dog.
Is that the
Give me
capsule
peace.
show?
Yeah.
no, that's,
Yeah,
Matrix,
that's
Matrix has the TVs.
Oh
on the front.
yeah.
They got the two boxes.
Yes,
on
yes,
the
yes.
side.
I remember it now.
never seen it work.
so,
It worked at prelims for like
30 seconds.
a minute. No, I worked for like a minute because it did a full thing.
Yep.
They're flashing words on it.
But then that little box.
And it worked for like half the opener, and then it was like, and I'm done. It's like, okay.
Well, go on then.
so
Never worked again. I said, come on, Matrix.
So average growth 8.55 from the beginning of the season to the end. So looks pretty standard. And then for the big dogs. So you got Post, Rhythm X, numbers right by each other. RCC's in Broken City right by each other. Mystiques, a little bit on Matrix. United and Infinity right by each other. Thesis come out of nowhere.
All this going to change.
Oh, I will talk to me. The floor is yours, sir.
A whole lot of this is going to change.
All right, what you got then, man?
I don't see Matrix holding 6.
Mm.
Really?
They're not. They're hurting musically once again. Hurting musically. And I don't see, if we're speaking music only, I don't see them outplaying Infinity in music. And if you haven't seen, where are they? United and George you like are already missing out.
George Mason is the monolith one, right?
The time capsule.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's a good show, man. That's
one of the most creative
Oh,
shows.
United is good too, though.
Is that the
United has
where they're like sitting on the back? They have those like
they got these like semicircular poddy things that they like. They look like a space capsule almost, and they get in them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some good stuff too.
It's been a while since I've seen some of these groups.
Yeah,
they all blurred together.
Yeah, United.
And I've said it for a while. This bottom 15, little leeway, 10 to 15 is you're gonna need to look out for those groups. Mm-hmm. That's where everybody's gonna be fighting in the end of this.
Yeah. Because Connexus and Cap City have good shows too.
Connexus is that good. That's a good
Cap
show.
City's good.
And I done messed up and watched Infinity's 2 Family and Friends night. I didn't watch Infinity because after I saw Infinity 2, I refused to watch Infinity. I said, okay, they done added so much to their show.
Or they had to.
And it's that clean. So that's why I said 10 to 15. Because Infinity 2 has done shook the spot. So a whole lot of these groups are going to have to tap that, and I don't know. That whole production is different now.
That's a lot of shaking to move.
And they tightened up the whole lot of screws. So I was like, yeah, I'm not finna watch Infinity. If Infinity 2 looked like that, no, I'm not finna spoil it. But
I was gonna say, like, looking at those now, of course, those rankings, we go by latest score, but like, Infinity is that one group. I think that they're sitting 8th right now in that ranking or whatever. So, like, I think that they could be one that kind of, I feel like, could make if you're saying like that, seeing them that low, I think they could make a jump and, get some people's booty hole sight,
It might not be a bold prediction. It might be, and I haven't watching Thesis. If they don't bring it, I see Infinity dropping below 10. These top 5 drum too well. They drum well and they have well designed shows, and their front's awesome.
Yeah.
Matrix show design is the bomb, but they're not playing on the level of the top 5. United is vice versa. If these groups had a baby,
there's some fusion up in here.
Yeah, it might be a problem.
United Matrix.
But that's what we talked about. We talked about this with the guard, and we said, what is the difference? How do you delineate the top groups from everybody else? And these 5 just have it all. And it's a matter of who gets their point across better and who drums better. And these groups are missing one of those elements. Anybody that's sitting in the final spot, especially in the next 5, they're missing something, whether it's playing or whether it's show design or body movement or something. They're missing something that those top 5 groups just have down pat. Because could you imagine Mystique or RCC or X doing Matrix's theme? And what that would look and sound like?
It'd have to be Mystique.
Yeah.
I think RCC could do it.
I don't know, though. RCC really ain't about that. If you think about it. Because think about the last time they did something with lights.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Do it their way, though.
I almost feel like,
because RCC, I believe, has done a heart-shaped show before. or a heart based show before. I see it in my head, but I can't remember enough of it to pinpoint it. Um, but that's just the thing. Matrix reminds me a lot of Blue Coats in the area of like pushing the boundaries as far as like visual and technology is concerned. They've always been that way. Even when we marched, they were the predecessors of that stuff.
If one of them did it, I will guarantee you it will be almost 50% less on the floor. They would do away with half of the stuff.
Like a minimalist approach to it or whatever.
I don't think people realize how much Matrix actually has out there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They would take half of that off because they know that in the end, part of that is probably going to kill them.
I mean, that's the
part
whole
of that
idea.
is probably why they're getting killed.
That's the whole idea of less is more, right? Like
because Matrix in the last regional in their same thing with them, their prelim show half stuff didn't work, and then in finals, not everything worked either. Because if you didn't look at it, the TVs, if you're just looking at the TVs and the TVs came on, but you got to look at the other stuff. They had some lights in the back, the twirling lights and the strobe lights. Some of that stuff didn't work. So I was like, it's so much. But it's one of those, I talking to somebody else, I said, but if they can just do it on the right day at the right time, it's going to hurt somebody in the visual state. Like somebody's going to be mad.
You watch, it's going to happen on prelims. It's all of a sudden going to be like, oh.
They better do it in prelims.
And you're going to see it. I'm telling you. This is what's going to happen.
They've actually been making that stuff mess up on purpose. Point shaving. So, yeah.
This man said point shaving.
I spend an entire day doing nothing but getting on and off the floor.
I mean,
we've done that before. What are you talking about?
I've spent an entire rehearsal doing downbeats across the floor for that man right there.
8 hours of getting on and off, nothing else. In different gyms around the city.
Oh my God.
Pack it up. We're moving across. Refill the floor. This is a vertical timeline. That's the last one was a horizontal.
Yep.
We're
going to Parks and Rec. Everybody, let's go. Load up.
I guess we're gonna do this on the diagonal. What?
A diagonal top line.
Wait a minute.
No, I wish that would happen. Like we got diagonal timelines. What? Wait, what do you
have a quadrant 3 timeline?
What's wrong with this arena?
Listen, people hate vertical timelines, man.
They
hate them.
Hate vertical.
You can only set up half.
Terrible.
Yes, because you can only set up half of your group.
Horizontal, everybody just pushes forward and you're there.
Horizontal, you just go on. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Don't miss that.
I hate it.
I mean, I kind of do.
Dude, that's some of the worst times when like. Because most time it's vertical, right? Like most of the time that's what you're getting in a lot of these arenas. I remember that once, like, every once in a while, like, all right, we're at a horizontal timeline, and the entire group like, because you knew you had to refold the floor a different way. You know?
So, but that's they should have conducted the director should have said something.
Yeah, but these telling you 10 to 15. 10 to 15, because I'm not counting out Connexus yet.
That's a good show, man. It's good.
It's so good, man. It is. It's one of those, man. It's like, God, dog, I want you to make it kind of shows.
They can clean up their plane a little bit. I think they got a chance to make the way up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, that whole area right there, like, I talk about how if any they can turn around and do something really well, but then, you know, all those other groups in that area could do the same thing. They can lay one down and like it just totally jack up what we see right now, which I expected to happen because now we're finally going to get them in front of one panel, you know. So, but I will say, for the sake of me liking that show, I really hope Rhythm X pulls it out this year. I really like that show. I just think it's one of the coolest concepts they have out this year.
Want to see the repeat, huh?
I would love for RCC to hit it.
That's a good show too. I mean,
if I'm picking somebody that I want to win, I like to see Mystique sneaking in.
I want to stick to metal. So I don't know if that's gonna happen.
That's a hard. That's a hard. Because seeing what's sitting there in front of you, in front of them.
That's the thing.
I honestly think Mystique has the best shot if out of all of these. If Broken stays where they are, they can probably tap Broken. I think visually could get them over Broken.
They do very similar things.
Mm-hmm.
They're more similar visual than they are to anybody else. So I can't.
But in the end, kind of pulling for RCC this year, I don't know. The show is just right. But I would not bat one eye if Rhythm X won.
So
that's the most out of the box show.
You get an amoeba on the floor the whole time. Like, come on.
It is always a love-hate relationship with me and Rhythm X. Like, I either love their show or I don't like it at all. And like this year, I'm like, okay, I really like this. They're doing a lot of things well. And just kind of looking at it, they take the top 20 in the semis.
Top 20?
So top 20.
Ooh, that's different. So how many do they take in the finals? 15?
15.
So they only cut 5 from semifinals to finals?
Only cutting 5 from semifinals.
Wow.
Love to see it.
See, I'd rather. I mean, that's not that far away.
So, Will, you think Infinity 2 is going to sneak in the semis?
Man, I give them semis. Yes, I give them semis. I don't see how they'll not put them in semis. If they pull off what I saw, I mean, I was like, God, this almost looks like a completely different show. But I am confident in putting them in the semis.
Cool.
Myself. It's good. It's that good. But they're gonna have to fight for finals. That dog ain't gonna have to fight. And if they make it, that's gonna
You'll have 2 brother-sister groups in there.
Yeah, 2 of them, both and them.
I don't know, that's a tall task.
That's a lot. I'm gonna say that's.
It is. It is.
Was it? Oh no! What group was it? Was it Red One that had that cool? It's like that blue shaded blue show. I can't remember what the name of that show was.
Talking about Warnies?
A shade of blue?
No. It's like it's not called Shade of Blue. Sorry, no. It's like it had that like the very ethereal beginning. Was that Red Wave or Red?
Every
Line?
show.
I know, dude.
What are you talking about?
Their group. I'm trying to remember if it was Red Line or Red Wave.
Red.
I really enjoyed
What'd
their
they
show.
do? And you said they did what in the beginning?
The show's it's all blue. Like their floor's blue. They have blue uniforms on.
Red Line's got blue. Close to the sun is what it's called.
Yes, that one. I think that's the show. I think that's the one. That was a good show too. I was trying to think of like who Infinity 2 was going to have to kind of.
I think they can probably hang with that.
So, all right.
What impressed me the most was the plan was better.
Yeah.
Out of the video that I saw, and I tried not to judge too much. I was looking all over the place, but what I noticed the most out of that video was the playing was better, and I said that mattered to me more than all of these visual changes that they did. They did clean up a whole lot of drill. They added a whole lot of visual stuff, light stuff, all kinds of stuff. I was like, okay.
I mean, you got
Y'all
like
not
Slay was saying,
around.
you got to. You know, gonna get bumped up there. You're gonna have to compete.
But the good thing about it is that it worked.
Good.
A lot of groups do that. They continue to hurt themselves.
What I'm excited about is that I am going to be on a field trip this weekend, and I have a lot of downtime on a bus, so I'm going to be able to watch a lot of this. So I'm very excited. So I cannot wait.
I'm about to say, if anything, catch it during the week, before the weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Scholastic Open before we go on. And then watch a little bit after we're done, and then head to Scene 75 so I can win a bunch of tickets. Priorities.
Right.
So
I still got my card.
I think I do have mine too.
Do they still take it?
yeah,
Nice.
I always give mine to a kid, so I never like just a random kid that's there. Like, here's 8,000 tickets. Thanks, Mister.
I can get the giant stuffed monkey.
Parents immediately piss at you. Why in the hell?
Oh my god!
I gotta take that home.
Yes, you do. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. So, all right. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Zach, top three. I mean, if you want to go further,
In order, or just who I think is going to be top three?
Order. Make it hard. Order.
Who you think you're gonna be?
Okay. I'm going to go with X, Pulse, RCC.
Chris.
I think I got the same. I just don't see. I know it's boring, but I just don't see. I think you have the top tier, which is the top 5, and then you have a tier within those in that tier, and I think it's X, Pulse, and RCC. I think that's how it's going to shake out. RCC Broken City might be able to get in there, but I don't think, or even Music City, but I think that's how it's going to lay down. It's boring, but
William.
I'm gonna shake the spot.
Infinity 2.
Atlanta Quest.
And Mount
United.
Juliet's going to get bumped.
And Audio Theater.
Audio
There we
Theater.
go.
Jeez.
Dog. That's the home. That's
Trousdale County.
I'm gonna go.
Zach.
You know what? Industry.
See, all right, yeah.
Okay, see.
You didn't forget who you was gonna say for real now.
No, I wanna really give it a shot. I'm giving them a shot this year. I'm going RCC, X, Pulse, MCM, Broken City.
Well,
All right.
Like, I need WGI to really something this year. Not gonna say
who is,
I just need I need to do the something. That's all I need the something.
who's your top three?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I said RCC, X, Pulse, MCM, Broken City. Well, that's top 5 really, but
Yeah. I'm trying to separate my heart from my brain.
I didn't. I put my heart straight into that because my brain says, good and well, that's a lie.
I mean, if I'm going with my heart, RCCX, Mystique, Broken City, Pulse. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh,
Bet.
your Pulse fit.
Bet,
What?
that's-
but I would do a backflip if it did.
I just here's the thing, man. I need
Pulse is clean as hell, man.
I
I'm
need
sorry.
Pulse to reinvent themselves.
They got to.
I need them to do something
They got
different.
to. They got to. But they're clean.
If it's not broke,
They're
don't
too-
fix it.
Too
I
clean,
mean,
and it
yeah.
makes me so angry.
But and that's
They're
the thing
so
about
clean.
it is with that, it goes back to Chino Hills and it goes back to BD, and like they all
Always
have
goes
that same mentality.
Yep.
Once
Over
it's
and over and over and over.
once this works, that's the formula, and they will ride the formula. And it takes somebody to do something
To tell it's broke.
extremely special
Mm-hmm.
for them to break the mold. Because Chino Hills, this is not the same show, but
No.
it took them to get beat to switch.
because this takes me back to the days when they were doing the fun shows and they had the towers when they were all blue, and you know, this year's show takes me back to that.
And I mean, you think about Rhythm X, because they beat Post last year, right?
Rhythm X
Yeah,
won
they won
last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they won.
Yeah, X won last
Post
year, right?
won.
Yeah. No, Post won?
No,
Oh,
Post won.
They
X
did?
lost.
I thought X won.
X didn't win with the boxes.
Oh,
They got second.
never mind.
Avon won.
No
beat
repeat for me.
Chino.
Yeah, Avon beat Chino. I know that.
But Pulse had just beat X, and I was like, ain't no way, but they did. That's why I was the same way. I was like, yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah, but
I said it to myself. I was like, ain't no way.
That's just kind of the cool thing, though. X can switch just like that.
Just like that.
This
Because
show,
think about the show that they did before that.
Yeah.
Nobody really feeling it.
This show is on the opposite end of that spectrum, and I appreciate that. Mystique is different from last year.
Yep.
Broken City kind of does the same thing, but at the same time, nobody else is copying that style of. You can't copy what Broken City does. Like you're
to the fullest.
You know, we talk about how Chino's, the California groups sound like Pulse or RCC. The Midwest groups sound like Rhythm X. Mystique kind of has their own style.
Yep.
All of your East Coast folks, United and George Mason, they have that Dartmouth vibe to them. It's very regional to where these guys. Because if you notice, Post California, Ohio, California, Nashville, Ohio, United's in Pennsylvania. It's in the Northeast. Infinity's Florida. Thesis is California. George Mason is the East Coast. Cap City's Indiana, right?
No, that's I thought they were in DC.
Maybe they are.
Okay.
Cap City, yeah.
Is that not right?
I don't know. It may be. I don't know.
Because I thought, like Capital City is DC. But it could have made that up.
I don't know, because I thought Cap City was was based off of it's Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
Well, damn.
Because I thought they were based off of the Capital Region.
That's why they're called Cap Cities, because Columbus.
That's what I thought. Okay. So Ohio. Notice a state we ain't said yet. Who's known for banging?
Nebraska.
Texas.
Connexus. I think that's this man said Nebraska. Connexus. I think Midwest. Atlanta, Georgia, Powell, California. Where's Red Light? Red Wave? I don't know where they are.
I'll look it up.
And I'm not sure where Monarch is either.
California, Red Wave, California.
Okay.
Who's the other group?
Monarch.
Monarch?
Monarch is Texas. So there's your first Texas
yeah.
group.
That's Texas.
Jeez.
That is really interesting, though, that, there isn't more... We don't see more from that area.
As now, my guess would be, just like in drum corps, they all go somewhere else in March. The top kids in Texas, go somewhere else.
It's like reverse.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it is. No, you got people from Texas in Mystique.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you,
DCI, you think Music City, that's what I'm talking about. It's a reverse.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so out of top 15, only one from Texas. Now, Vigilantes is Texas. Red Line is Michigan. Flux is Arizona. Blue Knights is Colorado. I think River City Rhythm is Texas.
That's Texas, yeah. That's San Antonio, probably.
Actually, no, it is not.
What?
It is
Rhythmic
Minnesota.
Force. Rhythmic Force.
Rhythmic Force is Texas. River City is Minnesota.
Well, I would have been thought that was San Antonio.
Minnesota Brass is Minnesota. Infinity's Florida. Dark Skies, California.
Gold's California.
Girls, California. Strike is Florida. Vessels, California. Rise is Colorado. Adios, Clarksville. That's a random. And then Veritas is Indiana.
That's
so you got
that's
East Coast,
odd, man.
You got West Coast, East Coast, and Midwest. And I mean, I guess you got enough Florida groups south. And Georgia.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
That's crazy that Texas doesn't have. I mean, they have representation, but you think with the talent that is in that state, but like you guys said, they probably are going somewhere else to play.
It's like any other area. It's just like everything depends on what means you have to form an organization. So, like I said, I mean, hell, I guarantee you, like a bunch of Texas folks are in Mesquite because you got Brian Click lives in Mesquite.
Yeah.
So, I said Mesquite, Texas. But you got all these groups, man. That I mean, starting an independent group is not a joke.
Yep.
No, I had a guy actually message me today and asked me if I had ever thought about starting an independent group. And I told him, I said, in the past, yeah, we did. I said, but the logistics of getting all of that stuff worked out is so hard.
It is very hard.
And then with everything that's going on within the world, gaining trust from facilities and sites to allow your groups to come is harder than ever. Even if you do have insurance and all kinds of stuff, whatever, it's a task in its own, and you're just talking about the logistics side of it. I mean, finding the talent should be your least of your problems, but that's still a problem in its own on the side, whatever. But I can see why Texas doesn't have a group because it's so big. I mean, hell, they basically run BOA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it ain't them, it's who? Indiana, Florida.
Yep.
So it's like,
yeah. California seems to they'll send a group to BOA every once in a while, but California is so big, you know.
It's going to take them forever to crack it.
Yeah, well, they don't need to go because most of the best groups are in their state.
Yeah.
So they probably look at a state title more important than a BOA title. Or a SCAPA championship for the WGI is bigger than a WGI championship. You know, we talked about this, me and you, Will. Indiana, and the Indiana Percussion Association had like 20 some odd concert A groups. Like, we're not even seeing Indiana's best concert group at World Championships.
But you're also thinking everything is financial too.
It's like a pick and choose kind of thing. Yeah.
So all of
there's
that
there's not a one specific reason why groups don't go places, but you know,
because regardless of what happens, Cali still has to fly no matter what.
Yeah.
Everything is in Mid-State or whatever, in Central located. So everybody from the West gets the screw end of all the deals because of all that. So the year Worlds was in Cali was probably the best year of their life. If you were capable of experiencing that, you loved that 1 year. But
the thing is, because their cost of living is so high, it's cheaper. It would seem cheaper for them to fly here to the Midwest than it is for Midwest and East Coast folks to fly out west.
For them, it is, yeah. No, for
yeah.
For their side, or I would say for the entire sport, it's easier. It's cheaper for,
It's
or
better to go to
it's
the
better
west.
for the West to have to come to the center than everybody
Mm-hmm.
go to the West.
If it ever leaves Dayton, the furthest west it'll go will be somewhere in Texas.
Dallas.
But I don't. Just anywhere in Texas.
That'd be tight. Dallas or Houston. Houston.
But you got to think it ain't got to be a big city. It's just got to have 4 arenas. That's it.
Yeah.
And so if you can find a place that's not heavily trafficked, that's the equivalent to Dayton, Ohio, in Texas, which they have those places.
Frisco, Texas. Zach knows what that is.
They'll just hang a curtain up in between Scholastic A and Independent World.
It was a section off into 4 sections.
Oh my god!
Which is on top of drums.
Because they had thought about moving it to Florida. They thought about moving it to Orlando to the Wild Water Sports.
Ooh.
There was talks to doing that. But
That was stupid the moment it was mentioned.
The cost would have been astronomical for groups. Because Orlando is
because you're living. You have to stay on resort probably, and that costs so much dang money.
Disney wants the rights to WGI.
Like they bought Marvel and Fox and
the WDWGI, Walt Disney Winter Guard International.
So that got squashed pretty quick. So, all right. Before we head out, any bowl predictions in any of the classes?
I don't, but I just want to say good luck to you and your group, man.
Mm-hmm.
Going up there.
Yeah.
Do some work.
If you're a fan,
spread that love.
You're a fan of the show and you see Cedric, go punch him.
Call at me. I was going to tell you.
Cause violence.
I was going to tell Chris, bring my shirt tomorrow. Drop my shirt off or something.
Oh, Nikes, I do have all those. Well, I gotta send those out. I gotta spend $84 just to send it to Will for shipping and handling.
Don't cost that much.
That's gonna cost a lot.
But
Ain't no way, because I got shipped a whole box of food from one of my former students. You need to go talk to him, see what they do.
I will rep the show. All right, here's my bold prediction. You ready for my bold prediction?
Go for it.
Warren East will walk out world champions at Scholastic Concert A.
Let's effing go.
You believe you will achieve.
Flip the tables.
That's my bold
Punch
prediction.
someone in the face. Let's go.
I predict there's going to be a tie
Mm.
somewhere. I don't know where, but there might be. It could be a tie. It seems to be a trend this year. There is one in
my bold prediction: someone is going to win.
Oh,
Stepping out on the ledge. Dave.
Drums will be played.
That's why Nicole married you.
Yeah,
Risk taker you are.
I am.
Will? Bold prediction.
He's trying to get that care package.
Infinity 2 in the finals. This is bold prediction.
That's his bold prediction.
That's your bold prediction.
Yeah.
Infinity 2 in finals. Stranger things have happened. So, well, down in the comments below, let us know who you think's going to win. What's your bold prediction? Are you going to finals? If you are, who are you going to watch? And if you see me, say hi. I'll watch your podcast or listen to your podcast. Or I hate your podcast. I don't know.
As long as you watch and subscribe and like, that's all we care about.
Yes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also listen to us on Anchor.fm and Spotify. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of those things are free, and you just kind of help us out doing some stuff. So, next time you hear from us, we'll be recapping the Percussion Championships.
Everything.
I will be extremely tired at that point. But hopefully I'll have a nice little medal around my neck and a big A trophy. So, for fellas, you don't have anything else for Chris and Zach and Will, my name is Cedric. This has been episode 34.5
Yeah.
of on the back
Zero
hash.
0.5.
Yeah, we don't see some scores with that.
1,000 of the 100,000th of the zeroist.
You're gonna see some things, but anyway, like we said, go out and get floor marching if you ain't got it, or if you're in Dayton, go to Dayton and cheer for everybody.
Yes.
It's a celebration. I'm not gonna say the rest of it. All right. From all us to all of you, we are
Dut.
Dut.
Oh.
Sacramento